All right, thank you so much, Matt. Time now just before 6:14. St. Patrick's Day, of course, just a few weeks away, and that means so is the Run to the Pub. We sat down with race director Tyler Wilkinson, who tells us what's new this year. I'm Kaitlin Corbett here with Tyler Wilkinson, race director for Run to the Pub, which is coming up in just a few weeks here. An important reminder right off the top, it's March 14th. It's not actually on St. Patrick's Day this year, so it's a little bit earlier.
Correct, March 14th. Normally the race will fall the weekend before St. Patrick's Day, so it's more or less getting people excited for the St. Patrick's Day celebration coming up.
And we're here at Pub 317, which is actually the finish line for the race. But for anybody who doesn't really know, isn't familiar with Run to the Pub, tell us a little bit about the race, where it goes from, where it ends. There's 10K, there's a half marathon. Tell us a little bit about that.
So about 13 years ago, the owners of Pub 317 kind of took off from their house and ran downtown, and more or less that was the birth of Run to the Pub. Since then, we've fluctuated around 4,500 runners or so. With that, we normally expect around 20,000 people that will be downtown that day. It depends on what the weather's going to give us, but normally it's a fun time and people are just looking forward to a change of seasons.
And so I think this is the 13th year for the Run to the Pub. Runner's World says this is the second best half marathon in the country. How did it earn that title?
Yeah, so a few years ago, they just kind of picked up on the race. I think a lot of people were talking about the race. Everybody that comes down here has a good time. So they caught wind of it and wrote it up in Runner's World magazine a few years ago. And since then, it's more or less become an event that everybody's excited to do. And we get runners from across the country that come in just for that weekend to take part in the race. Okay, so what do you have to do if you want to register? When does registration close? What are the fees? What do we need to know? So we do race day registration, which will be taking place down at the finish line here. But if you want to register right now, which I would try and push you to do to save you some money, you can go on runtothepub.com and you can find all of the race information on there, as well as an opportunity to sign up for the 10K or the half marathon. Okay, very cool. And are you guys still looking for volunteers? How's that situation going so far? Always looking for volunteers. This race doesn't happen just because of me. I'm only one small little piece of it. We have over 250 volunteers every single year that are working from a few months out to the day of the race, starting at 2 in the morning to help me set up the course and help this race, take part. And I know there's one additional really cool incentive, the Dublin Marathon. Can you tell us a little bit about that, what you have the chance to win if you run in the race? Absolutely, yep. So every single year we give away 4 trips to the Dublin Marathon. So if you run in this race, whether you crawl across the finish line, walk across, or run across the finish line, your name is in a drawing for a Dublin experience. That being said, there's a little twist this year. You're the first to find out. Okay. We are going to change from Dublin to a European trip. So I'm going to let your imagination roll with that one, but we're going to make the official announcement at the finish line here with Missy O'Malley. Wow, okay, so we got a little bit of a surprise there. And anything else that people should know about the race? It's coming up very soon. If you have an opportunity out on the course, I would just say thank a volunteer. Because like I said, those volunteers make this thing happen. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. Kaitlin Corbett, Tyler Wilkinson, race director for Run to the Pub, which is coming up on March 14th, and we'll see you there.